Don't know if that's working. We'll soon see. I don't know if anybody's on here. Wouldn't blame you if you blink and dropped off. It's like nearly 9 o'clock. So let's see. I'll wait and see if anybody shows up. Any audio coming through? Hey, can you hear me? Lima Charlie? Okay, cool. All right, sounds good. Sorry about that. I'll see if this screen share works. All right, welcome back. Thanks for still being there, peoples. All right, Hamish, this is the story. Well, one of Gizab Good. Oh no, sorry. First son is born and into Tizak. 1 hour 43:20. 1 hour 43:07. We'll just go from there. I was just having a whinge about tech. All right. Let me know in the comments if the audio when I hit play on here comes through.
Jaunt outside the wire, yeah. But so that got a bit stale. So we ended up just coming home. It was all done, yeah.
And when you say come home, head back to TK.
Yeah.
From there, mate. We move into TZAC.
Yep.
Now, again, this is right at the start of the podcast. Is that right?
But in between there, after Gizab and then before TZAC, my son was born.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah. So your son was born, and this is an interesting, a wholesome story, as we'd say.
Yeah.
It's because you had the opportunity, obviously, to come back to Australia. Yeah. And Shannon, we spoke about it before. She thought it was just going to be a breeze, which turns out childbirth is a bit harder
than ever.
Yeah. So run me through this story, because again, it's selflessness as well. This is.
Yeah. Well. So and I'll probably and it was not my experience, but there was a young bloke in the Kiwi Army that was rotated out from a team to head back for his birthday. He was like the youngest bloke in the battalion. This was in Timor, and my mate Len took his place, and then obviously he fucking was killed in action. And
that's crazy, eh? I didn't know that either till I heard this. So there's a guy. Fair enough, it's cool. Like the unit looking to do the battalion in that stage, by the sounds of things, looking to sort him out and get him back for his birthday and stuff with his family. Youngest guy, and Leonard Manning replaces him, and tragically that's what happens to him. I think of the Black Hawk accident for the Australian SAS, whereby one of my mates, he got out of the regiment, I think not long after the Black Hawk accident, because of what had happened. It was almost a similar sort of situation, but it was like a helo sniping task. And anyway, the story short, and I don't know the exact details. Hopefully one day I can catch up with him one day, and if he's wanting to talk about it, he can give it the proper version. But I think it was something along the lines of, because I never wanted to delve into it with him, but from the bits and pieces that I could gather, he was essentially meant to be on the chopper where one of his good mates ended up dying in that Black Hawk accident, where I think, bloody hell, was it 15 or 24 people all up that lost their lives, including the chopper crew and that sort of stuff. You do a Google of it and just Black Hawk accident Australian SAS training exercise, and it'll come up. But yeah, I think he carried the weight of that, as I suppose you would, but it wasn't through anything. It wasn't through him asking to be on the other chopper. It was actually his mate, from what I understand, requesting to and asking his mate to swap out for whatever reason. And that's what happened. So if that didn't happen, he would have been the guy that I became mates with in Timor, would have been on that chopper. So just, everything happens for a reason, as tragic as it is. And same with Leonard Manning. But you'll hear Hamish talk about his reflection, his memory, his understanding, that experience, those experiences, and then what led him to make the decision that he makes, and just hearing him talk about that. So I'll just backtrack this a little bit, 15 seconds, and then let that play. Choppers are awesome, but if you fly often enough, sooner or later it will get you. Yeah, yep. And look at Kobe Bryant, yeah, with his daughter, or one of his daughters. Anyway, let's play this.
Was rotated out from a team to head back for his birthday. He was like the youngest bloke in the battalion. This was in Timor, and my mate Len took his place, and then obviously he fucking was killed in action. And and that always sort of stuck with me a bit. And I'm like, well, I'm here now, and then so I don't want someone to replace me and do my work while I go home. And I always knew I was going to get home anyway, because I never entered my mind that I wasn't going to come home. So so we both, me and my wife both made a decision. Said, no, I'll stay, and then I'll see the young fellow when I get home.
Big call, man. Hey, like probably not so big when you take into consideration his experiences and what he's just outlined there. As with one of his good mates, R.I.P. to Len Manning. But again, those experiences and his memories, he carries that big call. Like his wife hit their first child, his son about to come into this world. The unit, not a unit like that, not typically known for making it possible. If you're on deployment, usually that's blinking. Just it is what it is. The timing of it. But the fact that they were considering that, or that they had considered it, and that there was an option for him, and him just taking all that on board and going, yeah, I'm here now. Like, I don't want people, like you said, to come and do my job. And then having the chat with his wife, and Shannon, she's probably like, yeah, it's okay. Based on what I heard earlier, she's like, oh yeah, should be fine. And then, discovered during childbirth, I assume it's probably not as fine as what she thought it would be, but incredibly strong woman. She's another person I'd like to interview. So maybe I'll ask Hamish. I'll say, hey, seeing as you're not, will Shannon let me interview her? And try and do it that way, or both of you at the same time, because I'd love to know how that conversation went. I assume it was pretty matter of fact and pretty simple, and she would have understood it and respected. But to make that call, your first child, but also understanding what he's, his recollections of this other experience, which led to the tragic death of one of his good mates. Not surprising that he made the call to stay in country.
It's a big deal, mate. Like, it's, your first.
And
big bloody deal. And Scojo's got kids, I've got kids. Yeah.
And we were walking in on a target in the Murrumbidgee Valley, and came over the radio that congratulations.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, congratulations, Trip McLaughlin, you're a healthy young boy. And my team commander, who doesn't hug anybody, came up and gave me a hug, which was quite nice. And then that was good. And then managed to did that task the following day, and then came back and rang my wife. And
we had Skype back then. Could you video call, please?
I think I just phone call. At that Marshall, was it? Which one was?
I was just laughing about the my troop commander who doesn't hug anybody. He came and gave me a hug, which is quite nice. That's probably something that I suppose I can't say for certain, because I wasn't in a squadron in the NZ unit. But like a Kiwi greeting is pretty typical, like the bro handshake and then a man hug, just in general. That wasn't something that I observed. Yeah, that's probably one of the things that I don't think I've ever spoken about before. That's probably one of the things that wasn't, it just wasn't common in Australia. How even when you've been working with people for such a long time, it's pretty normal, like handshake and blink and man hug, and then carry on, pat on the back or on the shoulder, and then carry on with the other thing. As I think about it now, very few times where, bloody hell, I'd be scratching my head hard to try to think of specific times where that happened. Yeah, interesting. That just popped into my head, made me smile and laugh when he mentioned that. But then he gave him a hug at that moment with getting the news over the radio on a job as they're clearing an area, no less. Yeah.
Was the fall in Murrumbidgee? I can't remember.
No, I can't remember.
Nah,
I can't remember.
Yeah. But so that was massive. Obviously a massive event, and then stoked, and then everything was good back home.
Yeah, and again, when you speak about the chat with Shan, you're on the phone, and she's got obviously I don't want to get men and women here, but women can be quite tough sometimes. And
Yeah.
if you don't come back, I'm fucking throwing all your shit out. Yeah. And obviously she knows life because she's served for us.
Yeah, she was young.
I guess she understands
Yep.
what you're doing and
Yep.
what you're going through.
Yep.
And
yeah, I mean, I'd be,
strong woman, like it does, especially for Hamish and the amount of time that he served as well. But to then go into a unit like that, or be in a unit like that, he was already in the NZ unit, and then going over and then being with the Aussies and the rotational schedule that they were on, and as busy as they were. But again, hats off to the spouses and partners, man, that hold it down back home.
It is probably like her support through all my trips is probably the reason that, I can't even begin to thank her enough for all the support I've had, through all those trips, man. It's probably the reason I'm, semi well adjusted now. Why are you laughing?
I like what you said. It's probably the reason why he's semi well adjusted now. Obviously, he's out of the unit, been out for a while. And why are you laughing? Fellas must have been giving him the side eye. Really? Are you adjusted, semi adjusted? Crack up. Told while on the job is hard, sheesh. I don't know how you guys who served handled being told what to do all the time. I couldn't do that. Well, I think part of that, when you're in a unit like that, it's not necessarily, at the end of the day, you have a choice, right? Like soldiers can either rebel regardless of which unit you're in. But when you're in a unit like that and the jobs come up, like you are wanting to do those jobs because you are feeling like you're making a difference, whether you are or not, remains to be seen. You don't necessarily see that, I suppose, through the on the ground goggles, so to speak. When you're in amongst it, or you're on the ground, or you're deployed, it's more of a feeling. Oh, hopefully, what we're doing is beneficial. And then the other part of that is while you're with some of the, at least in my experience, my opinion, you're with some of the best human beings that you could ask to be around and with and serving in a hectic place like where they are, and things don't get much better. That's my thoughts and stuff in and around it anyway, and the thoughts of some of those that I have had conversations with. And so I guess time will tell as I have the opportunity to speak with other guys that have been in situations like Hamish and that. So what was the next part? Son's born. Oh yeah, 2 hour interpreters trying to make deals during TISAC. Sharing here because I haven't really gone past this piece. Well, we've got 2 hours 5 minute mark, roughly 2 hours 5 minutes. Let's go from 2:04:44. What's this? I'm probably talking or meaning around the basic and core training. Oh, yeah, okay. Well, from that aspect, I think anybody that wants to be in the army, you just understand that that's part of the process. That's just part of the job. If you eventually want to get to a place like a SAS unit or whatever, where there's less sort of being told what to do and micromanaged, you're definitely a lot more trusted. Going through those hoops of basic training and core training is the price of entry to learn all those good characteristics and, dare I say, values of teamwork and blank and having that cohesion and having integrity and blah blah blah. So yeah, that's the price of entry, I would say. Purpose driven, would you say? Poeticus, purpose driven. Yeah, 100% purpose driven. Sorry, I was trying to gather my thoughts there as I was looking at the chat. Told well on the job is hard. Purpose driven. Yeah, everybody has their own reasons for wanting to join a unit like the SAS or just the army in general. And if you don't, well, I think if you don't have a purpose or reason behind what it is that you're doing, then I don't know if you're going to stay there very long, or that you'll last in an environment like that. Yeah. Anyway, what did I say this was? Oh yeah, the treacherous interpreters. This was interesting. I never heard about this. This is the first time I've heard about it, and it was interesting listening to Hamish talk about when he said he's not sure how much of this is known. out in the wider community. Well, I didn't know anything about it until I heard it on this piece here.
So we move around to the flank, and as we peer over the low wall, looking back into the orchard, you see the fighters firing from the back of the orchard in a drain, and we basically just give each other a nod and pop up and engage those guys at the back, and then that's it. That's the fight. They're all done in the orchard, and I think there were 7 fighters in there, and we move back and then pick up the scout, and then we move up together, and just do a quick battlefield clearance of the dead fighters in there, and then probably around that point we marry up with one of the other teams. I'm pretty sure it was Epic One again. That moved forward from the initial mosque that they took, and then they'd cleared a number of compounds after that, and we linked up with them, and then from there we basically consolidated on the mosque and used that as a bit of a reorg, and then we sort of come up with an area. There was a few outlying compounds that needed to be cleared as we moved through, and we sort of delegated that. But probably at some point between when the mosque was taken and we cleared that orchard bit as a secondary, our partner force at the back, which was comprised of AMP, Cat C Terp from the US, or US citizen that was interpreting for us, so like a vetted and cleared US citizen that was acting as an interpreter, and we had an SAS handler with that group. That AMP group, or that AMP partner force, had contacted the Taliban that we were currently fighting and offered to change sides, and the deal was that they would kill a number of us if we
contacted the Taliban. So some of their, or one of their, or some of the interpreters. Let me just go back.
That AMP group, or that AMP partner force, had contacted the Taliban that we were currently fighting and offered to change sides.
Crazy, eh? The Afghan National Police, I think, ANP, as I think was what he mentioned earlier when I listened to the podcast up and past this point, contacted the Taliban and said, hey, we'll change sides. But we'll carry on listening to what he says.
And the deal was that they would kill a number of us if they were allowed to leave the valley. Now, to the Taliban's credit, they basically just told them to fuck off, and then they'd just clean them up as well once they were done with us.
So I like where he acknowledged the Taliban there. To the Taliban's credit, if that's the right term, well, that's a term Hamish has used anyway, so we'll run with it. And they just told them to basically truck off, and you're going to die with the rest of the infidels is probably the comms that they got. But just the nature of going into a place like that in the first place, where the people will turn on you at the drop of a hat. So with all these war crime allegations and stuff, the fact that the Taliban look like Blinken, Joe Public, they're not dressed in a distinctive military uniform. They're dressed like civilians. They act like militia, guerrilla warfare, asymmetric warfare. It's their backyard. They know where things are. They know what buttons to push and how to play the game in order to get television media or mainstream media, whatever you want to call it, sympathizers on their side. They know how to utilize their own people and will extort and or manipulate and or basically just threaten to use them to their advantage, kill them if they don't do as they're told. And just the nature and the ability for them to just flip-flop as and when they feel like it. And this one's on the fly during a massively intense battle in the Battle of Tizak, and they're having radio chatter comms going, hey, we reckon we're going to lose. That's why they would have been making the call. We want to come and be on your side, like just let us walk out of here and we will do this for you. That would have been a massive Blinken green on blue situation had that like, imagine if the Taliban said, yeah, okay, do that. Like if the Taliban played their cards right, they could have had every intention of still killing those interpreters and just said, yeah, okay, do it. And then those AMP soldiers, thankfully the Taliban must have been too stupid to think of that. So thank goodness. So then those AMP go and do that. And then the Taliban, they potentially win that. And then they just clean them up anyway. So they could have done that if they felt that strongly about it. But for whatever was intercepted on the transmissions, Taliban basically said, as Hamish said, to their credit, told them to truck off and we're going to take yous out as well. So maybe the reason that they didn't say that is maybe they were just potentially very confident. They must have thought that they were going to dominate and win that fight.
And the interpreter intercepted that fucking conversation over VHF, I believe. Could be wrong, but that's how he intercepted it. And then he relayed it to the SAS guy that was handling it. And so potentially now we had another force at the back that we'd flown in that had turned coat on us. And so we didn't know about this till we got back. And then, but potentially, that was, June 2010. There'd been no green on blues within the Australian, commitment to Afghanistan at that point, their contribution, and that if they'd decided to go with that, or if that was something that they were prepared to do, then that would have been the first. So I don't know if that was briefed up, or if that news of that sort of betrayal was spread across the ADF, or how often or how well people know about it. But that,
bloody hell, I've never heard anybody else talk about this, of what Hamish has just mentioned. And so when he said he doesn't know how well that's been spread across the ADF or how many people knew about it, I've not heard Mark Wales talk about it, or Harry Moffat. Just trying to think. I wonder if Andy White, so I want to pick his brain. I want to ask Horse. I want to ask Rob. Like, there's lots of things on here which just sort of added more questions for me to ask the guys, and just the general chit chat and catch up. So as and when and if and where those moments and opportunities present themselves, like I said, it might not present itself in the first initial catch up, but later on, I've already jotted down and created quite the list of questions in and around things. But that's that's crazy. That
definitely happened. Yeah. And
where was the other? So when you talk about SASR handler, was there another team back there?
Yep, there was. Yep, there were a number of there were two.
So I'll pause that there. That's probably around about where I'm up to in this podcast. So a little over an hour left to go. I'll listen to that another time, probably tomorrow actually. Stop sharing, but pretty crazy, eh? And that's just little snippets grabbed of some of Hamish's experiences, not even scratching the surface really. So hence why I've with the school stuff and interviews and stuff in there, I'm not planning on trying to do a blanking marathon sit down 7-8 hours, 2-3 part blanking 3-hour session each one. It's not a Sean Ryan interview. Not that there's anything wrong with those, they're great, but just try and keep it a bit more where I can, focused onto one topic, and then just delve into that as much as I can. And part of the reason for that is when people have asked me in and around specifics for, or not so much a reflection, but like the one that stands out in my mind is don't think I've seen you do a video on a before, during, or after your time on selection and or cycle. And just sitting down doing that, I was like, oh, holy heck, just being in my own head, trying to connect the dots of things. Some stuff might be a bit sketchy, and so that's why I think I've shared in some of those videos, if there are any of the guys that were on that are out now but that were on my selection or cycle, or even time in the unit, Blinken, feel free to chime in and go either no, that's not what happened, or this is why that happened, or whatever. But there was lots of stuff that came to mind when I just sat and then just sort of digested that. So having that understanding is part of the reason why doing the sort of multiple catch-up sessions, again, on the guest schedule, when they've got their time and they're available, and or when they've got the energy, because that does take a lot of energy to sit there for hours, and unless you're doing it full time like I am, like I have to admit, even after the 8-hour live that I did of Mark Law's interview in the Between Two Beers, like I felt sweet as. So I wasn't didn't feel drained or anything like that, and maybe that's just because of getting the reps in and doing something that I enjoy, at least for me anyway. So but if it's not something that people have chosen to do full time, or that they're choosing to do full time, I could imagine that it's like, I've got, Blink can be looking at their watch, I've got other stuff to do, bro. I have actually got a life outside of I'm not like you just doing YouTube and social media. I've actually got other things to do. So where we can, we'll look to dial in on particular topics. Like I said, with PUP and the TBI stuff and CTE stuff, that'll be a, you know, much more of a focused topic. It might branch off at times into situations that have probably contributed to that, like the overpressure, like the MOE, like the explosives, like the live rounds firing, like maybe some of the hand-to-hand stuff. And then also PUP would be able to link that to other things and other experiences and stuff as well, and connections that he's made along the way, like the bloody hell, what was his name? The rugby guy that sadly took his own life due to CTE. Pro rugby player, bloody hell, Christie? I can't remember. I'd have to go back and. Oh, actually, no. We were talking about it, so I can't remember the name of the person right now. But PUP will be able to bring that up. He was really good friends with that guy and had an understanding of the struggle that fellow was going through. So yeah, there's a big conversation and stuff in there just on that one topic. So yeah, want to deep dive into some of that stuff, and then there'll be a whole bunch of other topics to deep dive into with PUP. Even maybe reliving the stolen piece from the Canadian stuff. A group that they then discovered when they came over, or when they came over to NZ and saw it there. So yeah, we'll see how all that goes. Hopefully that makes sense. Sorry, chat. It made me laugh. Unfit. I have a purpose. It's called being unfit. I think back to that question about resilience. When you're at wit's end, what drives you? But the purpose, maybe. Oh yeah, for sure. I reckon. Yeah, and or the purpose that maybe you give to it at that time. It may not be exactly the same. Like I think I've shared this on some of my reflections, like the Von Tempsky from a selection perspective here in NZ as an example. I can't say that the purpose that I had when I was blinking, suffering and struggling during that time, that I was having fond memories of the cool pictures that I saw in that black book with the SAS letters on it. My purpose became something else, you know. We need to get these jerry cans with water became something else apart from an embuggerance and heavy and painful and hurting my hands and body and shoulders and everything else. They also became, you know, a medical resupply, ammunition resupply, food and whatever else we needed to get to other people that I imagined in my head. So that became the purpose. But yeah, I think that's part of the flexibility, adaptability, or the drive that comes with wanting to serve in a unit like that. You know, you find your purpose and your reason, as I think you rightly point out, Poeticus, and then whatever you give that meaning to should hopefully help. Laughing face, it's fair, unfit. I used to be super fit, able to play rugby on a Saturday, then head into the hills, hunt, and then head out for league on Sunday. Are you ex-military, unfit for purpose? Is that you? Who was it that asked the question about being told what to do? I couldn't do that. Oh, that was unfit. I don't know how you guys who served handled being told what to do all the time. I couldn't do that. So you didn't serve in the military, unfit for purpose? Awesome kōrero with Hamish relating his experience. Yeah, 100%, eh? Yeah, man, 100% from Poeticus. Unfit. Hell no, I never served. Oh, okay. How did you come up with the? That's a very common military term, the unfit for purpose. How did you come up with that handle? Out of curiosity. Unfit for purpose. Yeah, that's definitely a common military term in NZ and Australia, at least during my time, along with other terms of endearment. Just popped into my head one night. Oh, wow. Okay. That's crazy. You don't recall hearing it anywhere before, or somebody that maybe served in the military just popped in your head? That's interesting. Wow. Cool. Anyway, that's it, peeps, for tonight's live. I covered off on all the stuff that I wanted to go through. Even got some answers out of you in regards to, well, I can't go back and check the live chat now in terms of the scores and stuff, but there were a few that were put in there. So appreciate yous joining in on the live. Thank you to those that joined school as well. I think it was Dan and was it Poeticus? I might have, as I've had a few friends serve in different branches. Okay, no worries. yeah, it's just as soon as I saw it, like I think when I've first seen you pop up on my live streams, I was like, that's a very distinct. And I think I might have, well, I wrongly made the assumption. I was like, this guy's definitely been in the army. So, but I got that wrong. But yeah, is anybody watching getting up to watch the All Blacks live this weekend? We use the term too. Ah, there you go. There, look at that. Hey, you're welcome. Get that Munda wave in now before I forget. But appreciate you all. Yeah, I don't know if anybody's probably heard the question. That's all good. I'll let you go, eh? It's been late enough. You probably got better, not probably, you got better things to do. KRIM, oh, yep. No, good live. Cheers, man. Yep, I joined. Going to check it out tomorrow. All good, Poeticus. Thank you very much for joining, and to Dan as well, who said that he joined too. So sorry I don't have the original chat. Yeah, because my bloody audio decided to play up. But yeah, no, everything, like these headphones are still on 90%, so it can't have been, and I'm just running the microphone through this, and the audio and everything was working fine my end, but you guys couldn't hear anything from me. So anyway, glad we got there in the end. Appreciate your fellas' time. Appreciate your support. Thank yous very much. And yeah, you'll see me, or I'll see you on the next one. Dale Morgan, thank you. Hope you enjoyed listening to Hamish blanking some pretty epic stuff there, and wish me luck. If you Kaituki Adventures, hit him up on Instagram for me and say, hey, you should do an interview with Joe. And maybe with enough, he won't succumb to peer pressure. But you never know. Maybe he might one day go, yeah, okay, I'll jump on, bloody stop you from harassing me every month. Take care, everybody. Look after yourselves. Enjoy the rugby this weekend, or the sport, whoever you're cheering for, whether it's the Wars, whether it's the ABs or the Springboks or Knights or whoever. And I'll see you on the next one. Ka kits, peeps. All right. End stream this time. And